This is a Sinima Beats production. This is a Sinima Beats production.
Go into the future. Now, this is time. Slime means time. What Indoc does is it prepares you to not go beyond the scope of what Indoc teaches you. Either way, I don't even know the other side of it. It really doesn't matter to me, but it's Indoc is all of Indoc. It doesn't matter what I don't know about Indoc. It doesn't matter what I do know just through participating in it or the training, but it never goes past present. You don't even think past present. The thought of others going to hear different hemispheres and all the other stuff, it's given to you, but you're not really one to get a big idea and want to go to planets. It's all the same thing due to this right here. Now what Flex does, this is what MentFlexX does. It's a sort of a therapy, and I always result back, this is where I got the idea that it was similar to Dianetics, where they clear people of past trauma. I'm going to tell you, you can check around and ask other people what they think about it, but Indoc was traumatic. All of that time was traumatic. It's a traumatic time. That could be whether you got in trouble or not. The Indoc is traumatic experience. It's technically not supposed to be there. Like it is. So with that being said, you've got all those years, it's going to say 25 years of good and bad, positive and negative. Now you can disagree with me. It really doesn't matter. I can be speculating. I can be wrong entire. It's going to go in the past, whether or not I'm right or wrong. I'm not really trying to be right. I'm just trying to be accurate. So here you have MentFlexX. This is what we do. You see this school Indoc? That's what makes it traumatic. That's why it wraps back around. It's because you were taught or learned or informed of what you needed to prepare for a turnaround. You're not gonna exceed this. That's why a lot of people can relate to this. That you got people with more age just running this Indoc. Raise your hand. You're not gonna ever be more than a janitor. They'll tell you in these. That's why it's traumatic. They'll tell you in these times in this Indoc where you gonna be in the future. Was basically what they're saying, because they know it's gonna wrap back around. You don't get this here when it comes back around. You may not still have it. That's why they tell people that you're not gonna exceed. You're not gonna be famous. You're not gonna make TV. You're not gonna do whatever. They're going to tell you here in this time, this traumatic time, that you're not going to do something in the present, later in the present. You're not going to the future. Something along that line. It don't have. I'm not trying to be accurate. I'm just trying to tell you. But that's a traumatic experience for the people of this age. You have a problem for the people of this age. Traumatic. It's traumatic. So you've got all that time, at least 25 years. Now, I don't know for certain, but I am going to pitch a tent on, let's say 25 years. If your age is 50, if you're running 50, you've got this NDOT. This is what you run on. We call them copper top because they put you together. This is where they put you together. You got 25 of that. You had 25 years to get rid of that. This is what makes you the copper top. That's what NDOT's all about, to make you a battery. Your positive, negative. We're going to need your energy out in the workforce. Positive, negative. We're going to need your energy. That's all we need is your energy. We don't need to listen to what you think. We don't need to hear your invention because you're not going to be able to function out here is what they tell you. You'll never make a musician. They'll tell you back then in NDOT, but that's the purpose, to get you to come right back around. You'll never make the pros, you'll never make, blah, 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 whatever. You're never going to do something because this is what this period of time, and they know you still got high school or middle school or grade school from preschool. They know you ain't going to college. They think you don't, so that's why they tell you, because somebody says that to somebody that's younger, what it's doing is setting a mark. That's traumatic. That's why it's a traumatic experience, because it's psychological. A lot of stuff that's going on in NDOT doesn't appear to be psychological, but that's the whole point of NDOT. It's the psychologics of NDOT. So this 25 years it's mixed with everything. Say I'm wrong. I had a good upbringing. School years, it was all positive. There was no negative in it whatsoever. I don't care which kind of schooling you got. Positive. I'm glad to hear that. You was in NDOT. And while in NDOT, you were giving whatever it takes for it to equal to what I just said. It's a traumatic experience. Be that some truth, lies, total lies. This is traumatic. You can say mine wasn't entirely.
This is Sinima Beats production.
Spelling. School is a traumatic experience. All of them. Okay, so you got this 25 years. This is where MentFlex comes in. You've got 25 years. So if you're 50 now, you've got 25 years of positive and negative. Yes or no? Agree or disagree? But if you just had this, if you got a clean slate to make this traumatic experience a positive experience. Let's say it's positive and negative. It's positive and negative because I could be wrong. I could be wrong for some. Yeah, but personally, I'm gonna state it. I'm correcting what I'm telling you. That's personal experience. Okay, now I don't know about the other side because mine is definitely a traumatic experience. So, 25 years. You've got 25 years. You've been 25 years, which technically wraps you back around to the same. Your behavior has been molded to go right back around here, and it's going to be no different than what you were. This is because everybody you went around, you're gonna come right back around, and you're gonna only know. Let's see what that be. It's your education. It's gonna be your experience. And what you draw from is what you were taught here. You're gonna draw from the misfortunes or the good times, bad times, the positive and negative of this, and you're gonna make a clean line 50 years later, bouncing off this right here, bouncing off this traumatic experience. Never. Going into the future. You don't enter the future. Stay right where you are because you're anchored by the trauma of the past. You don't go to the future because of the trauma in the past. You're going to say, well, I didn't have any any trauma whatsoever. Since we aren't in the future, it's going to be important that you know that past is the past. The future's just on the other side of it. So if you were to say, I didn't have a traumatic experience when I was in school, it was all sunshine and roses when I was in school. Let me ask you one thing. Do you know about the Holocaust? Do you know about slavery? Do you know about the Hindenburg? Do you know about 9/11? Do you know about trauma? Do you know about trauma? You know, slavery, Jim Crow, the Wall Street. Any trauma that's in the past, in this past, went through it. You went through here. You learned about it. You learned about it coming to America. Traumatic experience. Okay, there's some trauma in the past. It's relevant today because we keep circling back, because we're not going into the future. Sure, we've got ships in space. That's present. We've always supposedly had ships in space in the past. Still going on today. That's what I'm saying. A dimension. Do your Rockstar, KRS-One Rockstar. Look it up on YouTube, and I'm going to tell you, we're still in the same dimension. We're not getting past, because we were taught to stay right where we are. It's a traumatic experience. 50 years. It's been 50 years plus. You just kept doing it, redoing it. Now, if you're 26, you've got a gap right in between here where this is what MentFlex does. What MentFlex does is therapeutic. All right, Ben. All right, Ben. Enough. What did I say? Trauma.
This is Sinima Beats production.
I'm gonna pause for a second.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Anytime you say homeostasis, you're talking about your Holy Spirit. Anytime you say Holy Spirit, you're talking about spirituality. Okay, when you get this, start getting this knowledge, and it starts being converted into wisdom, you've got something. We're too ignorant even to know what to call it. You've got help. Your homeo is your protector. It's gonna help you. It's gonna protect you. It's gonna comfort you. Okay, but with these two, this is magnified, is multiplied, it is spiritual. You get assistance here. This is technically what I'm trying to say. Now it's like with the new day, with the natural law, and then with the process that we send you through. When you get here and you start getting, it's already there. It's just you don't have the communications. You don't have the program to hook to understand what's going on. Okay, knowledge is going to be obtained with the data and the numbers, and it's like this process is waiting on you to get the knowledge, because when you get here, and when I say knowledge, it's not really about what you're going to gain. Okay, being born into sin, it's got more to do at this point of what you're going to lose, what you don't need, what you're going to dump, okay, what you're going to get rid of, that'll allow you to slide into this, to where this becomes first nature again. It's basically a rebirth coming through. So that's why we don't really worry about what's going on in and out, because there's really no control of it. There's really no control of what's happening. Okay, and it's like the only thing you can do is defend yourself, because you're the only thing, and you can agree to disagree, you have some control of. You have control of what you eat. That would be taste, see, hear, smell, and feel. You have some control of something that would be you. This is the most important to us. Okay, it may not sound like it at this point, but it being our purpose is what we believe, regardless of what's said, regardless of what you hear me saying, it's what I know. Okay, and it's like you are the most important thing as opposed to the earth to us at this point in time. So whether you believe it or not, I don't have any control of that. Okay, so I don't really worry. What I have control of, I said, that was in the control context. So.
This is a Sinima Beats production.
I hope it makes some sense. And that you continue to keep watching, following, being intrigued of trying to find out who you are. It's been the Flex Doctor. Till next time. Peace and love.
This is a Sinima Beats production. This is a Sinima Beats production.